my name is Sam, and thanks for checking out this video. Make sure to hit the subscribe button down below, hit the bell notification, and give the video a thumbs up. So monthly wrap-up time. I had a pretty good reading month. I think I read about the same-ish amount that I normally do, and I wanted to tell you all about. So this month I read Rich People Problems by Kevin Kwan, Wildwood by Colin Malloy, Of Fire and Stars by Audrey Coulthurst, or Coulthurst, I still don't know how to say that last name. Stars Above by Marissa Meyer, The Iron Flower by Laurie Forrest as an arc, Kings of the Wild by Nicholas Eames, City of Bastards by Andrew Schwartz, Gunslinger Girl by Lindsay Ellie as a reread, Sky in the Deep by Adrienne Young as a reread, My Plain Jane by Cynthia Hand, Brody Ashton, and Jody Meadows, A Conjuring of Light by V.E. Schwab, The 100th Queen by Emily King, A Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness, Grave Mercy by Robin Lefevre, and unfortunately I DNF'd this book. Saint's Blood by Sebastian de Castell, Wires and Nerve Volume 1 by Marissa Meyer, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows by J.K. Rowling as a reread, because I'm 26 and it's Harry Potter and I read books, so. Storm Dancer by J. Kristoff, Between Two Fires by Mark Nose, Thunderhead by Niall Schusterman, Cadaver Queen by Alyssa Whitney, and finally, Drums of Autumn by Diana Gabaldon. So spotlight time, I want to talk about my favorite, my least favorite, and the most surprising book that I read this month of the 21 that I just listed. I think it's 21. Starting off with my favorites, it was a toss-up, and both of these books are so underhyped and so good, and I'm so in love with them, so I wanted to include both of them. And that is City of Bastards by Andrew Schwartz and Thunderhead by Niall Schusterman. Both of these are book 2 in what I believe is said to be a trilogy. I'm not 100% sure on Arc of the Scythe, but book 1 and this is 2. And then Royal Bastards is book 1 and this is book 2. And I know for sure this is set to be a trilogy right now. And oh my god, they're both just so good. The twists and the turns and the reveals. Thunderhead hurt my soul in the end. I've paused the world, just FYI, you may have noticed or felt it. And it is not set to begin functioning as normal until the toll comes out, because how this ended I'm not okay with. City of Bastards I feel like had a lot of character growth as well, and so much world development, so much more I feel like than the first time. I think the first book they were doing more questing, whereas this was, a set geographic kingdom, and betrayal, and I love that there's this thing of there can be more than one bad guy. Just because there's two sides doesn't mean they're both good kind of thing that came out of this. So I'm so excited for the third book. I need it. I think the worst book, sadly, that I read this month was A Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness. Oh, that book was exhausting. I know there's people that like it, and I'm glad you like it, but as someone who enjoys magic and witchcraft and history and anything set in England or Europe, really, oh my good lord, this book dragged and nothing happened, and the characters were so dull, and the relationship, I did not buy it. It was just super insta-lovey, and nothing happens for the first 2/3 of the book. No, nothing whatsoever. So sadly, it just did not hit the spot for me. And the most surprising book that I read this month was definitely The Iron Flower by Laurie Forrest. No, this is an arc. But all of the theories I had from Black Witch and Wand Fassage are totally null and void. None of them make any sense anymore. And since I read this, I read Light Mage, so I need to go back and read this. Maybe I'll read it because I always buy the audiobook. I'll read it along with the audiobook when the audiobook comes out in September. I want to say 12th, but I'm not sure. Sometime in September. Oh, what does it say on here? September 18th. So, it was just so good. Everything I thought that I was assuming before of lineage and power and political stuff. Nope, null and void. None of it makes any matter or sense anymore. Nope, you start over again. I feel like the frustrating part about that was I have an entire Facebook DM chat where we all, who are obsessed with the book and have read it several times, talk about the theories and confirm or nullify each other's theories, and even the ones that we were all yeah, that makes sense, this has to be it. Nope, no longer. So this month, these books taught me some interesting lessons. Man, if I had a penny for every time I was just $20 billion short of buying an elaborate piece of real estate property in Asia, I would be able to pay off all my student loans. Wildwood and Kings of the Wild just continued on this trend of every single month finding at least one book that uses the word automaton, even though I've never, ever, ever heard a single human being in the world use that in a casual conversation. Stars Above just made me want to give every good thing in the world to Cress. I feel like this girl's been shafted. Even with the happily ever ending she gets in the Lunar Chronicles, I don't feel like it's good enough. She deserves more. The 100th Queen taught me a really valuable lesson, that it's not when a man has 100 wives and then concubines on top of that makes him the villain. It's only when he has them battle royale it out between each other in order to gain his favor that he becomes the villain. City of Bastards just once again presented what happens in a world with toxic masculinity when men don't know how to take rejection. A Discovery of Witches is just Twilight with PhDs. That's how it should have been pitched. That's all that should have been on the back, on the dust jacket, everything. Save me a couple hundred pages and just write down. Think Twilight, but PhDs. The end. Oh, sorry. Twilight with PhDs, but set predominantly in the UK. That makes it cooler. Gunslinger Girl just taught me I'm never ever going to be interested in guns. I flinched several times when they talked about shooting. I don't know if I'm just so Canadian or so liberal, but just no. I don't know. No. Guns? No. No. Sky of the Deep really made me reflect on how I would treat my siblings in this situation, and it just reaffirmed my awareness that I am an incredibly petty sibling. You want to fake your death for 5 years and betray us and go to like a rival clan? You're gonna pay for it. And not for just a couple weeks after kidnapping me. Revenge is a dish best served cold. And I have 2 younger brothers. I know about revenge. Thunderhead just taught all of its readers that research librarians are your best friend, especially in an apocalyptic world where death no longer happens and an AI system essentially controls everything, and the sides that do control the death and who gets killed are very politically corrupt. So if you end up in that situation, find yourself a librarian. But good luck finding a research librarian, because they're so few and far between as it is in 2018. Oh god, they'll be long gone by then. Drums of Autumn is that time when your dad is so against you dating that he kidnaps and shoos away your significant other. Now think about the drama that you had growing up trying to get your parents used to you dating. I guarantee you that never happened. Unless your dad is like Liam Neeson or something, I don't know. I feel like the only logical lesson you could come out of Cadaver and Queen with is, don't kill your friends. I don't know that books necessarily need to teach us that, but I mean, there's some weird people in the world, but don't kill your friends. Between Two Fires just reiterated the lesson that you should already know. Being an abusive spouse makes you a villain. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows just taught us that leave well enough alone. We don't talk about the cursed child. This was the ending. Burn all your copies of the... No, I don't like burning books. Pretend that it doesn't exist. Hide it in a basement like it was Harry Potter at the beginning of the series. And lastly, Saint's Blood taught me that it's best to not start an invasion and creating a new religion by murdering the saints of the geographic place that you're invading. It generally doesn't go well. I mean, for either sides, but... So those are all the books that I read this month, and what they taught me. I learned some really valuable lessons, and I hope you did too. And please watch this entire video with understanding that this is predominantly all heavy sarcasm, except the thing about being an abusive spouse makes you a villain. That's just like life 101. Make sure to check the description box down below. I will link all of my social media, including my Goodreads page. If you follow me, I will follow you